I'm so distracted by myself. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the books that I am the most excited about that are coming out this fall in 2020. Honestly, for some of these books, I really wish I could get my hands on them way sooner, but I digress. Let's dive in. I'm so distracted by myself. So the first book on my list is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin, which comes out September 1st. If you've watched my past videos, you'll know that I wasn't a huge fan of Serpent and Dove, which is the first in the series from Shelby, but I am really excited about Blood and Honey because I'm hoping that it goes into the Dame Rouge magic, which is Coco and her magic, instead of the Dame Blanche, which was LaRue and her magic. I also didn't love Serpent and Dove for one major reason. I didn't like their love story and how they got into their marriage. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, even if it was like an olden times way of getting two people to get married. It didn't seem like something that was a possibility. And that kind of bothered me because it seemed from there a little fake and a little forced. But the magic itself in the book was pretty cool. And I'm really hoping that we get to explore more of that magic in Blood and Honey. The second book that I'm anticipating this fall is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I think this one is like among everyone's most anticipated books for just the entire year. But this one specifically comes out in the fall. And it comes out specifically October 6th. Now, this book is about Addie LaRue, of course, and she makes a deal with the devil, so to speak, where she gets to live forever. And after 300 years, she meets someone in a bookstore that remembers her name, which is kind of shocking. I've also heard that in this book, she falls in love with the devil, and we get to learn about her adventures and her love story there. So that whole entire premise super intrigues me because I want to know like who that person is in the bookstore that recognized her, how she met the devil. All those things are really intriguing, and just knowing V.E. Schwab's writing style and her hardcore fan base, I'm really excited to explore like such a cool premise of a book and something really original in my opinion in a book itself. So I'm stoked. I think everyone is stoked. Everyone's trying to get a copy of this before it's published, and I think that's going to be impossible. So I just cannot wait to get my hands on it in October. So the third book on my list is actually Monstrous number 5. It's the 5th graphic novel in the series. I've only actually read up to the first one and I absolutely loved it. I have bought all 4 of the ones that are in the current series, and the next Monstrous, which is number 5, comes out in September, I believe, and I cannot wait. If you need a graphic novel to get into and you like high fantasy and you like dark fantasy, this is definitely the one for you. It definitely has mature themes, so I don't think I would classify it as young adult, but it's definitely like an adult classic novel, and I really appreciate it, and I just can't wait to hear more of the story. And I'm definitely gonna buy the 5th one, even though I've only read the first in the series. So the next book was actually on my fall's anticipated reads before I got the ARC, but I got the ARC for this one, which I'm so excited about. It's just an e-read, but I'm stoked to read it, and that is The Master of Poisons by Andrea Hairston. And this one comes out September 6th, so we don't have too long to wait. I read the synopsis in my August TBR, so I'll link that. So if you guys want to hear the full synopsis, you can either look it up or hear me read it in my August TBR video. It's towards the end. But basically we have 2 main characters who are trying to save their world from decay, and good magic is hard to find. So I believe that there's some magical elements that the main characters will have in order to save their world. But either way, it sounds really cool, and the synopsis doesn't give too much away, but it gives you just enough to be like, wait, like what is this really about? I am so excited to read it, and I'm going to be doing a book review on my channel as soon as I finish it, sometime this month, definitely before the release date, and I will not put any spoilers. So for any of you who want to hear if it's good or not but don't want spoilers, this will be for you. So I feel like this next one is also super popular on BookTube or among fantasy readers, and it is called A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, and I think she was the same author that wrote Uprooted, which is a really popular fantasy read right now. But A Deadly Education comes out on the 29th of September, so it is not out yet. It's basically a book about dark academia. I believe that it's young adult, and the students at the school have to succeed because if they make mistakes or they do anything wrong, they basically die. Aim for any student at this school would be just to survive because the school doesn't let you leave unless you graduate or unless you die. So I'm excited to be reading like a dark academia book again because I feel like all the things that are going on with J.K. Rowling, it's hard to find a really good academia type of fantasy novel right now that you can really just sink your teeth into. This is going to be the first one in a series that she's going to be doing, so I'm really curious to see how she's going to do dark academia in like a YA setting. If you guys have read the book or have any thoughts on it, please let me know down below. I'm very intrigued by this one because it seems like a really different kind of premise than most of the dark academia novels I've read, and I'm wondering if anyone else has similar opinions to mine, so let me know. So for the next one, I'm really excited and I know that I'm definitely going to read this one. It is called Legend Born by Tracy Dion and it comes out on the 15th of September. Now I don't know if many folks have heard about this. I heard about it by stumbling across it on actually a bookstore website where they were accepting pre-orders, and every other person that I've seen that has heard of this book either on book Twitter or in booktube has been totally floored by it and sounds so interesting. So I think if you hear about it and are a fantasy lover, you're probably going to love the synopsis and the premise and want to read it. Basically, we have this 16-year-old girl whose mother was just killed in a car accident and she's trying to escape all those bad memories. And while she's at UNC Chapel Hill, she witnesses magic being done, and it's by a society called Legend Born that does magic, and their leader Merlin tries to erase her memory of all that she saw, but it ends up unlocking her own magical powers. And so her and her friend Nick try to infiltrate the Legend Born society, and they try to find out more and more and more about this secret society that exists, which is so freaking cool. And I love secret society type of magic books. I feel like that is what I want in my real life, so reading about it gets me that much closer to actually being able to experiencing it in real life. But regardless, this is definitely a YA novel and I think it's gonna have some really interesting dark themes among it, even though it might just be more of a young adult, and I am so excited to read it. I would love an arc of this, but I doubt I'll get one, and I don't think we have too long to wait because it comes out on the 15th of September. If you guys have heard about this one, leave a comment down below. I really want to know what you guys think of it and if you're excited to read it and get your hands on it too. So the last book on my most anticipated reads for this fall is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart, and this one comes out on September 10th. Now I'm a little bit hesitant about this one because there's parts of it that sound really cool but parts of it that I'm not so sure about. So we have our main character Lynn, who is the princess of this kingdom, and I believe her father is either like weak or passing away, and he is the king, and he's refusing to crown her as his heir for the throne. And so in order to prove to him that she's a worthy heir, she tries to learn this forbidden magic called bone shard magic, which I think the king himself can actually wield. But at the same time, there's a revolution knocking on the palace doors, basically. That's where my kind of disconnect comes from, because I don't know if I'm gonna love the revolutionary political part of it, but I think that I'm really gonna love the forbidden magic part of it. Either way, I'm intrigued. I'd like to read this if I can get to it, but at the same time I'm not sure how I'm gonna love it, so I'm gonna see what the reviews say, and if anyone else has read this book, let me know. I'm super intrigued by how like the revolution plus the forbidden magic plus the king is all gonna tie into the story and how that's all gonna like work together. Alright guys, so this was the entire list of my anticipated reads for this fall in 2020. If you've read any of these or if you're just as excited as I am for any of these, please comment down below and let me know. I would love to hear about it. If you like this video, please click the like button and please subscribe to my channel as it helps support this channel. Thank you!